Okay, the meeting got over. So let us get started again. So where were we? Okay, the function called distinct. Okay, we were explaining this one. Now, if you look at this function, here we have passed two column names. So there are two columns. Okay, and there's a comma required. Fine. So this index and the column y2007. If this two values in the row are similar, only then it is going to remove that particular row. Otherwise, it is going to keep it. Okay, so if I run this now, there's hardly, I think, any duplicate values here. So when I run this, I'm going to get all the rows here. Okay, so here you can see I have got x2, I've got 51 records. Okay, so what happened because your index and there was one duplicate record, only that one got dropped. The rest of all the records are there. Okay, so if I go to x2 again, here it is. The fifth record has been removed. Okay, in the previous example, what happened because I used only index, only all the records, maximum records were dropped, and I got only 19 records because we had some indexes with the same letter E or C and B and so on. Okay, so all those records got dropped. Yeah, so if you want, you can also indicate, multiple columns so that you can remove the duplicate records. Okay, that's one way of doing it. Here's some other function which which is very popular, especially in SQL, which you might have used, is the select function. Okay, so similarly, we have a select function in the dplyr package as well. Now it is used to select some desired columns. I need not require all the columns. I might require only few of them for my analysis. In that case, I should not import or I should not use all the records or all the columns. I can reduce the columns and then do the analysis part or analyze it further. Okay. Now to select multiple columns, I will use the function called select. So I can create one other data frame. So let us say data 2. Okay, so my data 2 equal to the function is select function. Okay, the first parameter which it takes is the data frame, the original data frame which we had, my data. Okay, followed by the columns which I want. So there are multiple columns. If you want, you can give all of them. So give few of them. Okay, randomly you can pick up some names. Let us say I want the first column as, let us say, index. Okay, so I want the first one, index. Give a comma. And like this, you can keep on giving the multiple columns. Now let us look at my data. Okay, let us say I want index. I don't want this state. And from 2000, let us say I want state as well. So I want index, I want state, and I want only up to 2007. Okay, up to here. Why 2007? So because this is in a particular sequence, I can also make use of the colon sign. So I can give you a state. I can give a colon. Okay, and I can give the year 2007. Okay, so this can also work out. Let us run this and check it out. Okay, so this is my data frame, my data 2. And here you can see I have got the index. And from state up to 2007, here I've got all the records. Okay, so you can, like this, if you want multiple options. Let us say you want the last year also, 2015. But I don't want 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and so on. Okay, so you can give that as well. What you can give a comma here again. And here you can give another, say 15, like this. Okay, and when we go here, you can see after 7, I've got the column 15 here. Okay, so it's up to you how you want to extract it. But remember, if there's a sequence, it is in the same sequence, then you can make use of the colon instead of typing all the column names. You can give the first column colon and the last column which you want to extract. Okay, that is a very easy way of doing it. Okay, what if I want to drop a particular variable or a column? Okay, if I want to drop a particular column for my selection, okay, and I don't want index. I don't want the state. I want all the other columns. Okay. So for that, what I can do here is, let us use one more, my data. Let us use this as 3 or something like that. So I'll use 3 right now. My data 3. I give select statement again. The select function. Into round brackets, I give the data frame, my data. Okay. Put a comma. Now to drop the index, let us say I want to drop index and I want to drop state. I want only numerical values, the numbers. Okay. So I need to give this tilde sign here and I have to give index. Okay. Similarly, for oh sorry, not the tilde sign. I have to give the minus sign. I can give the minus sign to drop it, and I can give state as well, like this. Okay, when I run this one now, you can see in this, the first 2 columns are gone. Okay. The other way of doing it is I can remove all this. I can give the C function. I can make use of the C function. Okay. So I can give minus C into bracket. I can give the name of the function, the index, sorry, not index, index, the column name, index, and let us give state again, state like this. So the same thing which we did before. So instead of giving all the columns one by one, we can include that in the C function, and I can execute this to get the same output. Okay, similar output will be there. I won't get the first 2 columns. Okay, so it is similar to the one which we did before. Okay, so just including a minus sign before the variable will tell that tell the R programming to drop that particular variable or to drop that particular column. Okay, when it is selecting it, the rest of all the columns will be, fetched and will be stored in the new data frame. Clear? Now we can also do selecting or dropping of a variables through a particular, function. Let us, there are a few functions which are available. Like if suppose I want to drop all the columns which starts with Y. Okay, I can do that as well. Now, for example, now in this my data, where's my data? This one. Okay, all the variables are starting with Y. Okay, except for the first 2, index and state. Now, let us say I want to drop all the variables or the columns which are starting with Y. I can do that as well. So let us try that one. Now to do this, I'll use my data again. My data 3 equal to, I can give select. Okay, I can give the first parameter, the data, my data, comma, and here I'll be using the function called start or starts with. Okay, it's a function starts with, and the character which it starts with is, let's say, Y. I want to give Y. So I want only the index and the state now. I don't want the other years. So I can do this. I can execute this one. I will get only the value. Okay, I'll get here because I'm going to start with, I'm selecting all the, the column heading which is starting with Y. So I can give start with, and here you can see I'm getting the 14, the first 2 are dropped and the rest are coming there. Okay, I have not dropped here. Now, what if I want to drop all Y's, starting with Y's? Then you need to give a minus sign here. Okay, give a minus sign. And now when I run this, okay, I'll get only the first 2 variables. So I go to this column, I got only the first 2 variables. All the other columns which were starting with Y has been dropped. Okay. So a minus sign is usually used whenever you want to, drop a particular column. Please make use of the minus sign as well. Fine. So like this, like we have this starts with function. We also have ends with. Okay, and which will help me find out the prefix which ends with a particular prefix. Okay, let us say it is ending with some number or something like that. Let us say 2000 or 2007 or something like that. Okay, if you want to do that, you can make use of ends with also. Then there's a function called contains. Okay, I'll just take an example of contains. So I'll take my data again. My data I'll use for equal to the select function, my data, comma, and here I can give contains. Okay, let us say what we have. Let me check first and then we can see. Okay, let us say I want, because y is all in all the columns here. Let us give a simple one, I, and index is the only one which is having I here. So let us see whether it gives me only index column. So I can give in double quotes, I. Okay, when I run this one, now I'll get only one variable. So only the index function, column. Okay, 52 entries and all the characters. So you can make use of contains. It will check the whole variable name. If it contains a particular character, you can do that. Then we also have matches, which if you want to match with a regular expression, you can give expressions as well. Okay. And if you want everything, then there's an option called everything. Right? Yes. So, like this, a select function can be used to get some desired columns from the main data frame. Okay. Now we can also do some reordering of your columns. That means if I want to change the sequence in which my columns are displayed, I can do that as well. Now, just for a simple example, what we'll do is we reorder the whole column sets. So let us create another one called data 5. There's lots of one, and you can say select into round bracket my data. Okay, comma. Now, after you give this comma, I can just give the name of the state at the beginning so that I get the first column as the state. Let us say state as the first column I want. Okay, and it should be followed by everything, the other columns as well. So I can give everything also. So we have this everything function, and I can execute this one. Let us see 5. Okay, so you can see state has come first, and all the other column headings have come after that, and in the sequence as it is. Okay, index has come as the second column now, so state has come as the first column. Okay, so everything is another function which is very useful if you want to use it. Okay, but you can change the sequence as well. Okay, if I suppose I want the year here, let's say I want year 200, say 15 year, sorry, 15, and then everything. So what is going to happen is I'm going to get these two first columns here first, and then the rest of the columns will be added after that. So if I run this one, here you can see now I've got the state, I got the year 2015, and then the rest of the columns, okay, or variables, whatever you call it. Okay, so the sequence of the order in which you want the columns can also be changed inside through your select statement. Okay, or your function called select function. Clear? Now, there's another function which is rename function. This rename function is used to change the variable names. If you are not happy with the variable names, what you can do is you can change the variable names as well. I'll just take a very small example, and I'll use this my data 5 only. So I'll give my data 5 equal to, I can give the rename function. Okay, so rename, and inside the round bracket, the data frame. So data, my data, comma. Now I want to rename this state column, or let us say the index column. So I'll write index, and I have to give the new name here. So I can give index equal to, or I have to give the new name and then equal to. So let us give this index or IND equal to index. Okay, so the new name is coming here equal to the old name. Okay, this is the old variable name, you can say. So when I run this one now, okay, and when I come to my column, my data file, you can see this index has been changed. IND has been changed to index has been changed to IND. Okay, or you want, if you want some other name also, you can do that. Let us say I want serial number or code. Let us say code here. Okay, run this. Okay, this would be better. So I've got code and I've got the codes here. Okay. So rename is another function that is very helpful, especially if you are not happy with the name of the columns. You have seen in the previous examples also, we had many data frames which had some weird, you can say, column names, and it was not very meaningful. So if you want to give some meaningful names, you can do that as well. You can use multiple names as well. You can just give a comma and give the other columns as well, and you can continue as many as possible. Okay, it's up to you. Okay. Now we'll stop here. Next time when we come, we will take this function called filter. It's a very important function in deployer. So we will start with the filter function. There are a few more functions around, which and different combinations of the functions which we'll see. And I think in the next session we will be able to complete with the deployer package. Okay, there are many more functions which I want to show you. Okay, please give your attendance in the chat as well. Your name, roll number, and please practice all this. I will share the example which we took on EDA. The videos has already been shared last time. I'll upload that file which we have created, edaexample.r, so that if you want to refer to that, you can easily do it. Okay. Be careful with the data which is imported. So, see that you get the data first, put it in the right folder. You have to just make a change in the path from where you are accessing the file, and you can start executing the code. Okay. So let me stop the share. And attendance, I think there are 4 students, 4 attendance they have given it. Right. Fine. Okay, and as I said, please remember this Saturday we have the MCQ test. Okay, on R programming. So start practicing. There are many websites on which you'll get many objective questions on R. So even if you type in Google MCQs on R programming, you'll get many MCQ questions as well. Practice from there, please.
I found these results.
Okay, so then see you guys in the next session. We'll continue with deployer there and try to complete this as soon as possible. Thank you guys for joining.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sohan.